back to the Bear Farmer YouTube channel. Thanks for checking back in with us. So, I'm in my new place, and a few of my plants have made the move. Mostly the trees, some of the stuff that I had planted in the indoor garden bed, and like the aloe plant made it pretty well, one of the tomato plants made it really well, and some of the onions made it really well. The strawberries did make it, and a couple of pepper plants that I was growing hydroponically also made it, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick. So none the worse for wear. Banana plants made it just fine. The avocado is, once again, poor thing, getting used to its new home. It has just struggled so hard. Pepper plants, still doing pretty well. Strawberries made it. Tomatoes actually got some flowering going on here. So we'll see if we get anything out of that. Probably won't try to transplant that outside just because. We'll see. Some of the things here will end up getting transplanted outside. I don't know if these cucumbers are going to make it. They're just not looking too great. The beans, my cats just ate them. So unfortunately, this cauliflower back here is actually looking really nice. And the elderberry is struggling really hard, but I think that's just due to a lot of transplant shock. So hopefully we can get that guy outside on the property. I have to find a location for it where it's going to do well. And then the onions in the back there are still looking really good. So not sure how they're going to fare. We'll just have to wait and see. So one of the things I want to do is a full yard tour of the new property that I have. And I am out here walking around in my yard right now. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the features that I have to work with on the property. Now, one of the main features that I have here is I have this nice plantable retaining wall area here that goes all the way along the side of my sidewalk and down my house. And this is on the south side of my house here. And even this nice little bed right here, which I'll be taking advantage of, because this should get a decent amount of full sun during the summer. Now, one of the problems that I have here on the south side of the house is that I have this big tree right here that I feel like is going to shade a lot of my sunlight on my south side, because eventually I'd like to put a Wallapini type structure over here on this side of the property. But as you can see, there are a lot of trees in this neighborhood, and during the summertime this is going to provide a lot of shade. Now the sun in the summertime should track right through here. So as you can see, the sun is setting over there right now, but here we are in the first part of March. It's actually March 2nd, so we're not even in springtime yet. And you can see on this side of the house here, you're not going to get any sunlight in the evening. I do have a nice feature over here which should get a little bit of morning sun, but I'm just not sure yet how much sun I'm going to be getting. So I'll probably be doing a lot less growing on this side and using this for some other features. Now, as you can see, this is also on the south side of the property here, and there's a decent amount of space here for growing that should get full sun all year long. But I don't know is how far I'm able to push my limits to be able to bring garden beds or things up in here. And we do have a lot of deer and a lot of rabbits and things of that nature around here that will get into garden beds. So I'm going to have to get creative with how I do some of these things. Coming to the front, I'm going to have some decent amount of space to work up here. Should be able to put some good stuff up in here. Not necessarily edible plants unless they're only partial sun, but I can put some nice features throughout the property here and put some nice beds in here. Just make this look a little bit more desirable, and I have a lot of work to do on the yard. But all in all, I'm pretty excited to be able to work with some of this stuff, and I really want to take an entire growing season before I really put any permanent structures in, to take some time to see how the sun really affects it. I am probably going to cut this tree down regardless sometime this summer, and if I do, I'll make a video of that. But that is a tour of my property right now. And one of the things that I really want to talk about is I'm going to be working on a very strict budget this year. So I want to try to show off a little bit of the fact that you can do a lot with a little bit, especially your first year of gardening. I know it can be a kind of daunting task to start a garden, but it's something that's very feasible for everyone. So what my budget for this year is going to be is I'm going to take $500 and set it aside, and that is what I'm going to be spending this year on my garden. I'm going to try to build as little structure as possible and just try to grow with what I have here and the features that I have here, because I really don't want to put anything in place until I really see where the sun tracks, where the shadows are. And I know there's online things available to be able to track the sun and so on and so forth, but I'm just really not comfortable with that, and I just want to see with my own eyes how it's going to play out. I do have a lot of rocks that the previous owner of the property left here that I can make use of to try to make some creative little garden beds and things of that nature, and do a little bit more of the permaculture, landscaping type stuff to try to set it up for future growing success. Because here on this property, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to be able to try to utilize my full sun plants that need that full sun, 8 hours plus a day of sunshine, to be able to capture that, because at least during the spring growing season, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to get a full 8 hours of sun in this yard. I don't know if it's going to be possible, and that's one of the things that I want to experiment with this year, and one of the things that we can explore together on how to make the best use of your property to grow plants. So I really hope that we can have a fun time this year, just experimenting, growing a little bit on a budget, and just learning to just start with what you've got. Just try it out. If we make some failures, so be it. We'll learn from it, and next year we'll have a little bit more success. Either way, I'm not going to go an entire season without gardening, and I really don't want to spend a lot of money on this year or build any real permanent structures until I really see what the spring and summer and fall seasons are going to look like to go ahead and plant things. So and build my permanent structures like greenhouses or wallopinis or garden beds or things of that nature, I don't want to build anything permanent until I've really observed what the light is going to look like here, and get rid of things that I need to get rid of, clean up some things that I need to clean up, and just take care of some other projects that I have that really need to be finished before I can really pour a lot of money into this place. So that's my plan this year. I hope you come along with us and just figure it out, and we have a good season of growing things together. Again, we don't have to start big, we just have to start doing something. Till next time, see you later, and God bless.